how are you guys? It is, oh look, I'm so pink-cheeked. I have been, I'm so pink-cheeked. I've been working hard, let's just say. Woof, the dear. So, I'm Lori LaRose. I have Active Stamping here on Facebook. I also have a YouTube channel, which I was just posting a couple videos. Facebook only allows the lives to be on for like 30 days, which actually, you know what, kind of cleans up my scroll in a way. So, but if you're thinking, oh man, I was looking for that card idea she had when she did the with kind of thing, head over to the Active Stamping YouTube channel, subscribe over there, and I think if you use some hashtags of those words, possibly you'll find the one. Otherwise, there's a little list of them, and at least on YouTube, I have the thumbnails or the cards, so then basically you can look along and know which one you want to look at for the ideas, and maybe measurements. I don't always give measurements, but there it is. So tonight usually is cocktails and cards, and I was all set to have a Paloma tonight, except I just poured myself a cup of tea. So it's not far off for me. You know, a Paloma, a cup of tea, same. I actually went for a walk today. It was absolutely gorgeous. And I was walking, I actually had to laugh. My husband and I went to Buenos Aires last January, and the River Plate that's a silver river, and it's just kind of a muddy, it's kind of muddy and dirty. It's not very nice of me, but really, it's kind of a brown river, and I had to kind of be like, hey, that marsh of mine with all the beautiful yellow grass, just clean, like nothing's been through it, it just is gorgeous. And I'm like, that's way prettier than the River Plate. Maybe I don't need to go traveling, but I do, and I do love traveling. Virtually traveling is sometimes kind of fun, just FYI, I'll tell you. Out promoting big time. If I don't have your email address, if you didn't get an email from me this morning, then I don't have your email address. One of my girlfriends is like, I didn't get an email. And I was like, how did you know that? But one of her friends was talking about my email. So if you didn't get an email, touch base with me. You can message me, or even in the comments. I'll read the comments after and say, hey, if you know I have your email, I'll endeavor to put you on. I was looking just now, Vicki. I can't find, I don't know how you're supposed to put them back on. I am not so tech savvy. Thankfully, Keisha has been working behind the scenes like crazy with all the graphics and all the great stuff. We are going virtually traveling. We're going to go to the Christmas markets starting Monday, because already October 1st is on Wednesday. Our first class will be on that day. We do a Zoom class as a bonus of being part of the membership. You get to be in a private Facebook group, and in that group we have all sorts of challenges, destination inspired, throughout the entire month, as well as the weekly classes on Zoom. If you can't make the weekly classes, if they're way outside of your time zone or something, the PDFs and the video recordings are sent out on Thursday or Friday kind of thing. And then the inspiration within the group is incredible. So there's like color challenges and sketches and I don't know, but just ideas to work with and make cards. So we are traveling virtually through the Christmas markets around the world. I hope that you will come and join us, basically. Okay, I'm going to have a drink as the people jump on here, and I check out, oh my gosh, I check out what's going on. I have a really cool idea actually today. Imagine me actually knowing what I'm going to do. That doesn't mean that I won't maybe lose stuff. Okay, so I can see you guys. Hello, hello. Say hello as you come on. I have just one set of eyeballs on me, it says. I love that you guys also can see that there's just one set of eyeballs, and it's like, where is everybody? Want a party, and nobody's saying, nobody to say hi to. All right. Oh, so Cajun Craze over on Creativity for Everyone. That's a free group. That's for some 300 people or whatever, and you are welcome to post your inspirational cards over there. No, your cards that you might have been inspired by life to fill. Cajun Craze is a color of the week over there, just to keep things lively and fun. We do have things. Connie posted a beautiful card today, and I think actually, as I'm just looking here, I will be probably working with Cajun Craze as well. I'm gonna pop you guys down here. Hello, Claire. Okay, here we go. Oop, no, we didn't. Look how pink my cheeks are. Good thing I'm putting it down here. I think because I was working really hard, I was out in the yard today. It was really lovely out today, and I was busy already picking some leaves and clearing up some stuff, cutting a couple trees down a little tiny bit and all that kind of good stuff. Sorry. Working with this incredible 3D sunflower, what's this called? 3D sunflower embossing folder. I made a card. I just actually posted this one over to YouTube just a little tiny bit ago, like last night, I guess, actually. Hello, Xena. I had some coffee cups on here. Maybe this is one of them. Oh, yeah. So that was kind of fun, but look how it's just gorgeous. So I saw a little idea from another company, and I thought, ooh, I'm going to do that with ours. Hang on a second. I'm going to give it a try anyways. Might be a pretty fast little thing because I'm prepared. Half the time when I'm doing my cards, I don't kind of know what I'm doing. And today, like I've even already embossed this. So Stampin' Up! Has 2-tone paper. Now, in full truth, I'm not sure how keen I am on the 2-tone. It is in just about every color, if not every color right now. I happened to just open up a package of, a while ago, we had a Halloween one. And in it, there is pumpkin pie. Ugh, must be black. Granny apple green. Gorgeous grape. And looks like pool party. When you see these side by side, you see the 2 tones. Wait, I'll get the gorgeous grape up here. Oh yeah, this is funny. In real life, I can't see it because of the way the light's hitting, but yes, in the camera, that's awesome. And the black one, I think I'll double check that it's black. And then that green one, sometimes it's hard to see the difference. Anyway, so they come in different colors. After seeing this one, if we want to work on getting a share, look at that, how pretty, hey? All right, so that's the 2-tone, which is nice for card making. I have made a couple cards where you cut it and then you cut a chunk out of it and you have the 2 tones. It's nice also for scrapbooking, is sort of where it's kind of initially come from. And what we're going to do tonight is that it's white cord. So it's not quite as thick. I'm going to pull this out here. I wish I had that one. So it's not quite as thick, but it's pretty close. It's not DSP, but it's not quite cardstock either. It is white core, and on our very deep folders, it can crack. Now in this case, I want it to crack because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about too. I actually can tell you that the first one I made, I did accidental. The Stampin' Up's name is on the side that has most of the like the stuff up. It pushes up into it. This is the flat side, and there is lots of different techniques that can be done with that side as well. Totally, 1000%. In fact, I might make one today. Anyways, yeah, maybe we'll see how much time we have left. But just an FYI, because the first one that I'll show you in a few seconds here, that I played with already once today, I put it upside down. So I actually worked with a lighter color, because it was that way. Anyways, I'm babbling except to say, just be aware that that is the side that you want to be on that's the good side, say per se. That's A side, this is B side. You can work with B side, sometimes B side becomes the hit, you know. For people who are old like me and know about 45s, you know what I'm talking about. Da, 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 da. Okay, so now I'm going to get a little scraper, sander, and we're going to actually sand this. So it's going to be kind of noisy. But if we go across, we actually are going to pull off a whole bunch of, and make a whole bunch of white. So you can swipe, you can rub, you can do all sorts of stuff. Almost the more that you do with this one, it's a very deep embossed. so it's all right to you can't overdo it in this technique, I don't think. You do want to hold it, as you can tell, and I guess I'll say I'm pushing firm. I'm holding this steady just so it doesn't buckle, so that I don't catch it. And yes, it's kind of noisy, and I apologize for that. And then some areas won't even quite, so the leaves are kind of funny, even when I've been doing some inking techniques. They're there, but they're protected by this, if that makes sense. They're not quite as high, so they're definitely, you can totally see them. They're definitely there, but they're protected by the bumpier sunflower. So if I work at it a little tiny bit, I can get into them. And I do want all of these guys, because that'll be fun. And I am thinning down the line, but not crazy, so it's not, you're never going to come equal. Oh, it's so nice when it gets right clean. All right, so once you think that you've got it done, so I will tell you that this also has a great texture. So I'm going to actually, from learning, I'm going to knock out the dust, because otherwise it goes on to, so you could leave it like that and it's very, very pretty. And if I backed it onto a piece of stuff, and I just had some words here, right? So you could be fairly quickly have a card done up in no time. Lickety split. These things are from a card that I made, gosh, I think. So you definitely have sanding residue. Nice glass mat gets rid of all of that kind of stuff. And I have to say, there's a joint offer, and I'd love for you to be part of my team. We are a fun little team, and I can help you. I have been a demonstrator for 23 years. I'm about to celebrate that as well. And so I do know how to be in this business, and I have earned the trip, actually. Dun, 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 dun. I was just to Florida with the company. Less than 1% of all of the demonstrators actually have ever achieved this. So you would be in good hands with me, whether you want to be just a shopper, a happy shopper, or whether you would like to do more with it as a business. Do know that I think it's great. It's always a great idea to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator if you're shopping. But it's especially easy to join. On October 1st, it's going to be a $48 special, and you get to choose $165 worth of stuff. What? That's insane. I can't even believe that can be right, but it is. Or you can spend the $135 that it usually costs to start up, and you get, I think it's $252, maybe $256. Also an incredible buy offer, right? So do touch base with me. I can send a link out for you, easy to connect in with me. Extra bonus, if you love inspiration and stuff, I'm part of a crew of gals, so of 16 of us. We call ourselves Silver Sisters, and several of the girls on that crew have made the trip, and we support each other and can field questions to one another, as well as we have whole day events where we make fun cards and share and show a whole bunch of ideas for our team members. So you'd be part of that. And I sign you up into that group, and you can instantly go back. We just finished one 2 Saturdays ago, and you can go back and see all of those videos and years worth of it. So it's definitely a plus to join with me, and you would be in great hands. Anyways, okay, saying that, you could buy this glass mat. That was a nice segue to tell you that you could buy this glass mat, hey? Okay, so this card could be pretty well done. Know that in my world, if you are just popping by, lots of times I do pretend. Look, woohoo, I can stop pretending. I just had placed that on there. If you noticed it was a little short, yes it was. But there would be a card right like that. Boom, we're done. Very pretty. I'm not quite sure why. Oi, sorry. Oh, you know what? I need to actually come this way maybe, and then maybe I'll be better. Anyways, so that's one idea. The other idea that we could do, and I will just pull in one that I worked with this afternoon, and I'll show you how I did this, but I'm kind of thinking I'm going to do it with a different color. As I was running the ink pad across, I picked up some color from something else. So yes, it's an ink pad. So I'll just cover that up there. And then again, we can still put this guy in here. If you're wondering where this lovely sentiment comes from, it is from, hang on. Okay, so we play a drinking game, and if I can't find what I'm talking about, you guys can have a little drink. I did find it. It's not a chug-a-lug. It's not a shooter. It's just a sip. Maybe sometimes it's better. Maybe sometimes you could do a shot, but this particular time you should do sips. Yes, I'm getting better, I think. So maybe people are shooting. No, I'm just teasing. Anyways, okay. So every leaf sparks the bliss, every leaf speaks bliss to me, fluttering from the autumn tree by Emily Brunt. It's an oldie but a goodie in the green. I don't get rid of my sets very often. And that whole virtual tour that I was talking about to the Christmas markets, definitely, absolutely, you are able to use old Stampin' Up! Stuff. We are excited to see how we can use their stuff. Did it with an espresso one as well earlier, and also ran it across with the thing. Look how gorgeous that is. So now I might choose to put this, although it's pretty on the Cajun, I might choose to put that onto here, a cherry cobbler. Wouldn't that be pretty maybe, hey? Let's see. Oh, nice. Okay, so then this won't be quite right, but nonetheless. And then I might add different leaves, but that might kind of work. So very rich and gorgeous. I could also put this onto a crumb cake one, I betcha. Ooh, what's on there? I wonder what that is from. All right, so how do we get to this? Now my question would be, what color do I want to do? Since I already have a yellow one, I'm thinking that I would like to do a different color. I kind of like the idea that you do something a little bit lighter, simply because you can. And that's like kind of the mystery. Whereas if I went with like a espresso on this, well, it'd be like, well, you wouldn't even need to have sanded it, basically, because you can go over top of it. So it's kind of, I'll say, imperative that we use a lighter color. So the question being, what is lighter? Or one that might not normally go with it. So, for instance, I could maybe use peach pie. Do you know what's interesting? Did I do this again? No, I didn't. I actually think as I went over this, that I must have been hitting, and it's okay. The yellow just darkens over top of the orange because it seems a little bit darker, doesn't it? Not a lot, but just a smidge. Anyways, okay. So, sorry, the pause was, I know last night, so not last night, Wednesday night, we had our class, and one of the girls was using Petal Pink, and she was asking what other colors, what you could go with Petal Pink. And I'm just wondering, maybe Petal Pink would be pretty on this. It's a lot of peas. Or maybe the basic beige. And basic beige should be lighter. The challenge, of course, is that I can't just play with it per se. That being said, hang on one second, because I don't want to wreck the whole thing, and it's so pretty. I have one little tiny piece here. I'm going to test it. Hang on here. You're like, what? I cut my 12 by 12. All the two-tone comes in 12 by 12 paper. So I cut it at 4 inches, and then I cut two different sections at 5 1/4. So 4 by 5 1/4, so that it's a nice layer. You can do a little bit smaller than that to be able to have an extra mat. But then that you have this little tiny piece off the end of the 12 inches, basically, which will come in super handy because I can test these two end to end and see what I'm thinking. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so you can have a drink because I can't find my scraper. What did I do with that? Here it is. Okay. Hello, Keisha. Hi, Anne. Hi, Betty. Hi, Carissa. How are you, hon? All right, Chris. I think you're a demonstrator with one of the Secret Sister gals, right? The Silver Sisters. I don't know if we're Secret Sisters or I guess we're Silver Sisters. The name came about quite a few years ago. One of the leaders, the Canada leader at the time of our Stampin' Up! Company. Oh, that looks so nice. I will say that littler one worked like slick. Organized a whole bunch of people that could go on to another level, basically. He invited, I think there was about 100 of us that he invited out to Toronto on our own bill to go out and learn stuff from other demonstrators and compile. Anyways, the long and the short, a couple were invited. If they weren't quite silver, you were supposed to be silver. And so a couple were invited, and then Tamara Bertram was one of them. And she was like, okay, we're doing this thing. Okay, so when I do this, I'm just going to lightly, very, very, I don't even know how to show you, but just like, I'm just so soft, just soft, 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 okay, across the top here. And just straight down and just straight across. And we'll see what this color, it might be very pretty. It's going to be light, and it might be too subtle. I think it might be too subtle. This still kind of looks like the orange. It might dry a little bit different, but that's not my favorite. And like I said, on one little corner, I'll show you that if I do it with, say, Cajun Craze, which I think would look fantastic, we just probably don't need to wipe it. That's all, because it's already going to be darker. Does that make sense? This one is Basic Beige. Let's see what it does. The same thing. Oh, it's so green to start with. So I was right. As you're swiping it across, it actually goes across everything, which with the yellow, that's why it doesn't make any difference, because you can't see it. On this one, you kind of can. Do you see? You can kind of see that there's yellow on there. And I was pretty sure that I was hitting it, but it didn't really matter to me. And so, yeah, so I definitely have hit it. It's just that, of course, in the white spots, it is very yellow. And in the other places, it's just lovely. Does that make sense? So obviously the color that you use, you're going to have to like the whole effect. This one is totally crazy. And I don't know if you could go slightly, should I be able to go softer even? You can kind of go softer, but it still is hard. So I'm not sure that Basic Beige is a kind of a weird one, because beige to me is not green. It's not khaki, but I do find our Basic Beige seams a little bit. As it dries, it becomes less green. But you saw when I opened that, Evan, it totally looks green. That's not your imagination. Okay. So that's a no. And the pink one is kind of not bad. It just seems kind of soft, hey? I like the yellow best so far. I'm kind of thinking, oh, I wonder if bubble bath. Now I've pretty well gone with everything. I don't think I hit that. If it's wet though, it won't. So FYI, once you've gone with it, you can't, often you can't kind of, oh, once it dries, you could probably scrape it off. Once that's a little bit more dry, and start again. Haha! Now, because it's dye ink, it won't necessarily completely scrape off, but maybe a little bit. Anyways, Tamara made up a group of sisters that were not silvers or silver elites yet. And I actually have been a silver elite for all 22 of the years. Like first year I became a demonstrator, I went right to the leadership. It was called managers back then. And I got to go to a special event that they put on. It's called Backstage now, but in the old days it was called leadership, I guess. And it was so fun. And the special meetings that we got to go to, I just never ever wanted to miss it. So I remained a leader the entire time I was in the business, or this whole time. Okay, I kind of don't mind the pink. I like the pink better than the petal pink. I'm not sure what I think of it as a whole, but I'm going to do it because I already have a yellow one. And the other thing that I'll show you, now the Cajun Craze will be interesting as I do that. I could do crushed curry, but I feel like I've made it quite dark already. And that was with the Barely Banana. No, not Barely Banana. That's a really old color. Lolly. Lemon Lolly. That is Lemon Lolly, actually, you guys. Just saying. So I made it very dark with the Lemon Lolly. It's lovely. I lovely. What was I saying? The petal pink was pretty and the Lemon Lolly is lovely. Once you start with the alliterations, you're totally in trouble. Okay, I'm going to try. I don't mind that. That's not horrible. It's just a little bit weird. I don't love it. Right? All right. So I'm going to cover this side up and we'll see what happens when I do this. So you have to be careful, I think, with this method because it hits down. So that would be cool, but you absolutely, maybe by doing sanding it does accent it a little bit darker than it does if it's just over top of the orange. So it's probably not moot, but it's just not, and it's definitely pretty, but okay. So I'm going to put that one away. I'm going to pull in the pink, the bubble bath. And I'm going to clean this up, and I'll do this. Anyways, Tamara put together a group, and I said to her, I would love to be part of the group. I invited myself. The best decision I made several years ago. I think that was like, was it 2016 maybe? And okay, so I'm just going to swipe and swipe. And it does make the pink, but of course there'll be areas that stay like this one's kind of a cool one because even though I'm hitting some, the grooves, it's got grooves as well, basically. So there'll be some areas that do not get hit. So I'm trying to go very softly so that I don't. I do want to get the color where I want it. That's kind of pretty. All right, I got all quiet. Anyways, I said to her, can I be part of this group? And she said, why would you want to be part of it? And I said, well, the same stuff that you have to do, and if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, the layers of business, if you're building a business, are your first thing is bronze elite, and then silver elite, and then gold. And I said, well, the same thing that you guys have to do to get silver, I basically have to do to get gold. I just have to do it again and again. Like, that's just how you build a business, right? So if you guys are there encouraging me, that would be awesome. So she was like, okay. So I joined the crew as well. That's the long and the short of that story. It's a very long story about with the train of thought being lost. All right, so now that's quite pretty. Do you guys have a big preference between, these guys are too tiny. I could also put this on, made that card the other night, right? I could put this on this pumpkin pie. No, pecan. Actually, this one on pecan might be pretty. No, interestingly enough, that one actually looks very, very, very pretty on the Cajun. And I don't, you know what? I don't really like that one on there either. And I don't like it on there. And then didn't I also have a green over here at the time? Oh, you know what? Yay. I have another brown or Cajun because I do like this Cajun. So I'm going to go and see, what about this being Jackie Smith? I think that you've watched once before. No, Jacques. Do you say Jacques, Jackie or Jacques? Jacques Smith. I'm thinking that's like, that reminds me of, and I hope that it's not offensive to you if I say, of Jacqueline Smith. And I always think of me. I used to ride bike in Gatineau. I'm Canadian, and I used to go to school in Ottawa. And the Gatineaus, I had a little silver wing. No, it was not a silver wing. What did I have? Now I'm blanking on my little Yamaha cutaway. Oh my goodness, I can't remember what my bike was. Anyways, long and the short of that little story is, I don't think bubble bath per se is going to be the queen here. Hang on. But I'm curious. I can't imagine this working. Anyways, I take off my helmet. Ugh. I take off my helmet and I would like whip my hair around and I'd pretend. One time on Charlie's Angel, she was riding a bike and she had this beautiful hair. And I take off my helmet, my hair's just flat, stuck on my head. Totally not the Jacqueline Smith of my life. I don't usually, if you're lurking around, I don't usually say your last name, just FYI, but I had to this time. Fortunately, it's not too unique of a name. Okay, now let's see what this one looks like. Nope, I definitely like this one on here. And I quite liked it. So I think my favorite is the yellow. What about you guys? But I don't mind this pink. It's kind of fun. And the thing is this technique, I went kind of orange for realism, like as if it's realistic, but kind of. Although that being said, they're never going to be this dark. And I was thinking this one would look pretty on green, and it does. But I could do this idea with any of the two tones quite lovely. So the combination of a darker paper with a lighter color over top is quite appealing, I think. I think a lot, actually. Anyways, okay. So do I have any more words? And I did really like this one. I was going to do the other way, but anyways, I'll put this little guy in there and this little guy over here. And then they just need sentiments, and already, ta-da, I would have 3 cards. What do you think of that? All right, the other idea that I sort of mentioned, because I feel like I have oodles of time. Did anybody say if they like the green or the yellow or the pink better? Carissa, I figured. Oh, you're Sue's. Oh, lucky you. I love Sue. She's just rocking it with all her reels right now. I call her 6. All right. What time is it? 8:36. So maybe just enough time. Oh, I did have a neat idea. Okay, so I'm going to move away from the two-tone paper. I'm going to I'll just bring in what I've got here. So it's going to be about 4 3/4. So then this will be maybe I'll do it by 3 just for fun. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of spritzes. Let's just bring these guys in here. I could blend or I can spritz. I can do all sorts of stuff. Okay, so that's one way of working and playing with this. Thanks for answering me, Carissa. People don't often answer me. I know some of you don't even have your things on. Okay, your sound. So I got a whole little bucket of spray bottles. I love them. And I'm just going to spritz. Now the sad thing is that it'll go surround. Hang on a second. I gotta. Haha. That should work, kinda. All right, hang on. I'm right-handed. I gotta hold it with this. God bless you all over there. Whoa, that was not a very nice spray. It's okay. So I spray once into the garbage to get it going. Oh, that is not, this is not, I'm not showing this off very well, can I just say? There, that's the spray I'm looking for. All this other stuff is padiddly. I was going to say, if you spray quite strong. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I've saturated it, that's for sure. So now, at this point, you take a nice piece of Kleenex or paper towel, and Dinah Wakely just takes a whole big roll, and you just pick that off. There we go. So I do want that to be a little bit more intense than that. So I don't know what was with those colors. That was sort of sad. This is a nice deep color. Nice. All right. The plus of doing this is supposedly when you are putting things through the 3D embossing folder, it's never a bad idea to have, go ahead, spit it out, Lori. Never a bad idea to have it wet, damp, they say. So we'll find out because it'll be damp going in. I'm just going to add a little bit of blend in brush because I can. And I just want to fill in lots of color just in case I need it. Okay. I don't know about this little blip here. That was funny. That was a green, which I thought, oh, that'll be nice, but really it's not so much, but that's okay. That being said, you know what? I'm going to pull in a little bit of azure right there. And that maybe mask that greeny. Looks like a little bit of, for lack of anything better, mold. We'll add a little color and see if we can change that over a little bit. Yeah, that'll make it look better. Dun, 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 dun. And then put a little bit more up here. It'll go purple and pink. And oh yeah, that's going to be pretty. Okay, did I just stick my finger in there? No, I did not. That's so pretty. This is not dark enough, so let's do that. Okay, so pretty. All right, I'm going to go put that through the embossing folder. And I am going to, oh, before I do that, this is all part of the technique. Stay on the game, Lori, stay on the game. Okay. Now I'm back to my winging it that y'all love and think I'm crazy for. So this time, oh, I still am going to be putting this in this way. Okay, so this time I'm going to run the ink pad on this side and cross my fingers that it works. I'm going to grab a really dark Blackberry Bliss. Because this is quite damp, I might get into a little bit of trouble. Maybe it'll have dried by the time I get back over, there. Where's my Blackberry Bliss? All right, drink. Drink, drink, drink. Where is my Blackberry Bliss? It is not been put away. I could use Secret C as well. Oh, here it is. It's right there. Must have just used it with that stamp. Okay, so, oh, it's drying quite nicely. Because it's damp, it could run. That's all I'm kind of concerned about. Okay, so again, I want to just, and I don't need to do a whole bunch. And what I want to hit is basically all of these areas. I have to say, this would be really nice with a brayer. And I am quite sad because every time I say that I need to find my brayer, I forget to go upstairs and look for it. I'm like looking around. Yes, you could drink if you want to. Ah, dang it. All right, I'm just going to drag it across and hope for the best. So I need a little tiny square, about yay big, right? And so I'm just going to start. And again, I'm just going to come across and hope for the best. What I don't want is that right there, kind of. So I could, if you had a Q-tip, it's not a bad thing to have a couple Q-tips in your room. Don't want that. So on the insides, I don't want to have it, but if it's there, it's there. All right, so I will come along again here. I got a little enthusiastic. Isn't that pretty? This is going to be nice. So now I'm going to lay this down here. I'm going to close this up. I'm going to run it through. I'll be back in a second. Hang on. Hang on for the big reveal. And hopefully it's really dark, which I'm not sure it's going to be as dark as I want it to be, but we'll find out. So I'm running it through once, and then I'm going to go back again. And I'm going to go a little bit slow, so I need to fill the time and talk to you as I'm going. We had a big rubber, oh no, not rubber. We had a stamps sale last week, and my box has arrived for my stamps, except for the ones that I didn't get to do on sale. I did a nice surprise gift idea for the girls that have been in my club all summer, and I thought, I was like, I'm going to buy you sweater weather stamps. They sold out before I ordered them, boo, but ironically they were back in stock like the next day, boo, so ordered them. They'll be coming on Monday or whatever, but double boo, there's a Canada Post strike, so I'm not sure how I'm going to get them out to you girls, boo. So, okay. All right, are you ready? Oh, it looks pretty already. Ooh, isn't that pretty? That one I didn't try this afternoon. That's gorgeous, you guys. Look how pretty that is. Oh, I love it. Oh, that is so, so nice. Okay, so to rehash, I had color, and then I dragged on the embossing folder, and then there it is. So this is where it went over, where I was like, oh, you don't want that kind of, but it's not horrific. And then I'm not sure, I think it's not doing anything weird. It's not very wet, and I don't think the wet is making, I don't think it's running or anything like that. So this is gorgeous. Okay, so now so it's too wide that way. I'll put it on here. I'll probably mat it, and then I could have the words on the bottom here. Oh, this 'tis the season. This is not the right thing, but it's the right way. You make my heart smile is my usual one. What's this one say? That's 'tis the season. But yeah, that with a mat, and then your sentiment, and then you could have, oh, just because it's in this color, also being a little bit crazy. That's too much. Oh, one of these guys. Oh, that might actually look kind of pretty in a different color. Remember, you always have to play a little bit of imagination with me and go with your little mind being like, oh, la, la, la. So I think if I can pull in actually this blue. It's a little strong, but I could. And then again, so I think I would like to, isn't it pretty? So I think I would like to mat it. Hang on, here's, do I want to mat it? Or do I want to mat it in white? That's what I'm trying to think just in my mind's eye right now. And I'm kind of thinking the white might be kind of nice. Because this is just a lot of dark and dark, right? It's not bad. But I'm going to do it in white. So I'm going to go figure out what size this is. And I'll be back in one quick second. Hang on. Ooh. So that was 3 by a weird 4 1/4. I honestly, that was so random. So I'm going to do it by 4 1/2. 3 1/4. I have all these lovely strips. I wonder if this will be big enough. Oh. No, I must have read something wrong there. Red. Must have read something wrong. What did I read there wrong? What size is this? 4 or over that. Oh, I got it under rats. Oh, but this might be, nope. Okay, hang on. I gotta cut a little tiny bit of my favorite part. Rats. It's okay. It'll work. Okay. And then, I'm not sure if this is gonna be big enough. I'm muttering away over there, hey? Mutter, 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 mutter. All right. The blue's okay. I think it's quite strong. I think it's too much. I think we'd rather have it in this color. So this is a beautiful razzleberry ribbon. I'm not thrilled. Betty actually used this on Wednesday night too. Not thrilled with how fat this ribbon is for tie-in bows, but on hers as well. It looks pretty. I think the last time I used it, I just made a knot out of it. I have the light in my eyeballs right now. It's like crazy. Fix that a little bit. I can't see anything. Right, I was just fussing with my knot. Well, you little Dickens, you're really not going to cooperate with me and lay the way I want you to. Could you please cooperate? Sorry, I'll come online and you can see what I'm fighting with as I'm like, come on. There. I do not want to cover that up at all. So I could do this. Like that might be better because I like my bows over on this side. What's that from? It's weird. I got like a glue, but I have used this multiple times. I don't know why it's like that. Okay. I do not want 'Tis the Season. Oh, I've got this. You Are Seriously the Best. Okay, it's perfect. All right, and then I think I want to do that in... Do I want... All right, you guys can drink because I cannot find a block. All right, stop drinking. I found my block. All right, I can do it because I have Blackberry Bliss right in front of me. I think I will do it in Blackberry Bliss. I could do it in the blue, but I don't think it's going to be the right answer. And I don't think the berry is enough. I think Blackberry Bliss is the answer. Seems like it's very tiny. Oh, that's perfect. I'm not sure about that font with this particular Sunny Sunflower. But it's exactly the length I'd like, so this one would also be nice. So grateful for you. That might be very nice too. Okay, and then I think this is nice. I think I don't know, it's kind of wet still, but I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down. Who am I? So again, if you did not get an email from me today, my course that I'm not speaking very good English about, is totally open to demonstrators, gals. If you just want inspiration, want somebody else to do the heavy lifting for your creativity, if you'd like to take some of the ideas and talk with me and be like, oh, could I share this with my crew? Yeah, you're in classes. These would be some good ideas. The bottom line is that we all do better when we are enjoying our creativity. So it is totally open to demonstrators. You are using your own products. It's not a product-based class at all. The $50 is basically for everything else, like the weekly classes and all that kind of good stuff and all the inspiration. So, all right, so now we'll put that guy like that, this guy in here. Nice. And then this crazy bow that I'm struggling with, I could just have it. I feel kind of like I need to ground it. Okay, I am struggling with this bow. This is what I'm going to do with this bow. You guys are like, what? Yeah, exactly. What am I doing? We'll see how this goes. I'm going to cut it in half. I am a 3/8 girl. I use big scissors and use all of my sewing skills. I think it'll fray, in honestness, because all of these have a little bit of binding on them, but if I don't mess around too much, it might be okay. Now, surprisingly, you use so much less ribbon. Watch how much less I'll use, because, right? It's not so much less, but it's some less, because they don't have the big knot, hey? That's so much nicer. Okay, you are seriously the best. And I do think I like it up over top of this. I don't think I need this to be as long. Sometimes you need the white to be basing it. I'm going to put it over to the side and then just have the bow hanging out just off the top of it. And then I'll put a couple gems on there and it'll be pretty. Oh, you like the blue ribbon? Well, of course you would, Keisha, because you are a blue girl. Yeah, okay. All right, you weren't wrong. Yeah, the blue's kind of nice too. It brings out that, it pops it up. Pow. Maybe, I don't know if I ended up using this. Did I glue this one down? Let's see what this fine blue would look like. Good gracious sakes. Talk about fraying. That one's like fraying like crazy. Oh, I like that one. That one's prettier to me. And once I put it down with a thing. Okay, for me, that's a prettier blue, but I also really like that one. So you can put your vote in, see which one you like. Maybe I'll send this out to somebody if you guys tell me which ribbon, if you won, which one you'd like on there. Dark blue, not razzleberry, berry burst, or the chiffon balmy blue. All right, gals. Well, there. I showed you lots of good stuff today. I'm going to swap out this guy. My favorite definitely is with the yellow. I do like it this way. So, sanding and adding a little color on a two-tone, or playing with it with more inks and having a good old time. What do you guys prefer? Dun, 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 dun. All right, there we go. All right, ladies, I will let you go. Have a fabulous weekend. Woohoo! Can you believe it's Friday? I will see you all Monday. For those that would like to join the group, make sure you touch base with me. You can message me straight on here. If you got the email, you can hit reply. If you have questions, if it's unclear, a couple of my girlfriends are like, I don't think I quite understand what you're doing. So let me know where your questions are. I'd love to get them answered and for you to join us. It is going to be so fun. We're going to the Christmas markets. First destination, Strasbourg, France. And it's a little bit early for an actual market, but we are making Christmas cards, so we want to get started and have all the fun. So I'll meet you in Strasbourg over a steaming cup of glühwein, you guys. All right, talk to you later. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.